Hi, hello! Welcome again to the official YouTube channel of the New Intelligent Design. Today, we are going to talk to one of the most interesting topic, and the topic is Tiktaalik. And the title of this video is called Tiktaalik, Missing the Link, and the New Intelligent Design. Welcome again, and please forgive me if you will find some sentences are bad, grammars are bad, pronunciations are bad, but I'm trying to do my best to make it better, and I hope that you will forgive me for all my mistake in grammars. But I'm going to speak to you slowly today, if possible, so that you could understand me. Okay, let's go. Tiktaalik, missing the link. As I had claimed in my science book, here are my science books and my videos in YouTube, that I had discovered the real and the universal intelligence. And I have written a book, and it's called The New Intelligent Design, Turning the Scientific World Upside Down. This is the book that I have written. And after I discovered again the real and universal intelligence, I've written this book. And after I've written this book, I also wrote a book, and this is called The Biology of Intelligent Design. This is the first edition. So in this book, I didn't include Tiktaalik. So I promised to myself that if I have time, I will discuss Tiktaalik in YouTube so that you could understand me, how the new intelligent design could answer, could give more explanation to the topic of Tiktaalik. Okay, before that, here are my books in Amazon, and this is me. These are my books: Intelligent Design, Biology of Intelligent Design, Physics of Intelligent Design, Philosophy of Intelligent Design, and Psychology of Intelligent Design. The pictures is not here. So, in my book that's called The Biology of Intelligent Design, after I wrote that, I said, and I propose, and I claim, and I've written that the way to explain the living organisms in the biological world, the only explanation is I call the biological interrelation, or BITS, and explain that to that book. So those of you who had read that book, maybe you understand me. Yeah, you understand about my book. But to those of you who have not read, you can read my book. And on that book, the one that I've written, this one, I discuss the ERVs, the endogenous retrovirus, and I said to that in my book that this is not part of the theory of evolution. And also I discuss the recurrent laryngeal nerve, or they call it the RLN. Section, how about this? And also I discuss in the book that I have written, The Biology of Intelligent Design, the mimicry of nature. Because, in biological living world, if you are going to study that scientifically and, what should I say, in detail, you could see that there are many mimicries of nature that the biological world had done. I mean, there are many, in reality, there are many mimicry of natures, mimicry of intelligent products. The mimicry of intelligent products. So I discussed that also in my book, the Biology of Intelligent Design. But today, as I promised, I'm going to discuss Tiktaalik in this book, okay? There is no Tiktaalik here in this book, so I discuss here in my videos. This is Tiktaalik. Before that, let us first watch some videos discussing Tiktaalik. And I'm going to refer to you last year, I think last year, 2014, when Ken Ham debated. I will give you the videos. Just watch.
Now here's the thing. What we want in science as practiced out on the outside, is an ability to predict. We want to have a natural law that is so obvious and clear, so well understood, that we can make predictions about what will happen. We can predict that we can put a spacecraft in orbit and take a picture of Washington, D.C. We can predict that if we provide this much room for an elephant, it will live healthily for a certain amount of time. So I'll give you an example. In the explanation provided by traditional science, we came to be, we find, as Miriam alluded to many times in his recent remarks, we find a sequence of animals in what generally is called the fossil record. This would be to say, when we look at the layers that you find in Kentucky, you look at them carefully, you find a sequence of animals, a succession. And as when you're looking at old records, there's some pieces seem to be missing, a gap. So scientists got to thinking about this. There are lungfish that jump from pond to pond in and end up in people's swimming pools, and there are amphibians, frogs, and toads, croaking and carrying on. And so people wondered if there wasn't a fossil or an organism, an animal that had characteristics of both. People for years had found that in Canada there was clearly a fossil marsh, a place that used to be a swamp that dried out, and they found all kinds of happy swamp fossils there, ferns, so on, and organisms, animals, fish that were recognized. And people realized that this, with the age of the rocks there, as computed by traditional scientists, with the age of the rocks there, this would be a reasonable place to look for an animal, a fossil of an animal that lived there. And indeed, scientists found it, Tiktaalik, this fish lizard guy. And they found several specimens. This wasn't an individual. In other words, they made a prediction that this animal would be found, and it was found. So far, Mr. Ham and his worldview, Ken Ham creation model, does not have this capability. It cannot make predictions and show results. Here's an extraordinary one that I find remarkable.
Okay, so Bill Nye had given us an explanation about Tiktaalik. This person, Neil Shubin, was the one who discovered Tiktaalik. Let's hear from this person.
Shubin. I'm from the University of Chicago, where I'm a professor in the faculty of the anatomy department there. I also hold an appointment at the Field Museum of Natural History, also in Chicago. So, you have to understand the setting. The setting of the day we found it was, this was our last expedition to the Canadian Arctic. We were running out of money, and I'm not saying this for drama. It's really expensive to work there. We'd worked there for a number of years already with very little success. We had not much to show for ourselves. We decided to sort of spend the lot and have one last season working layer. So Steve's cracking rocks. Steve is up, about, he says, "Hey Neil, what's this?" And I remember looking at the thing and saying, "Okay, I have my flat-headed fish." I looked at Ted and Farish, who were the co-leaders of the expedition. Oh my God! I mean, it was there was two feelings. One was just incredible joy, but the other was incredible relief. This is our last chance at this. And as soon as I saw what this object was, I knew what we had spent 6 years, 20 years looking for.
Tiktaalik Rosé is the scientific name.
Since I was a graduate student, I was interested in one of the great evolutionary events in Earth history, which is...
Okay. So, both Bill Nye had explained Tiktaalik, and Nell Chauvin, the discoverer of Tiktaalik, he said something in the videos. Let's watch one more videos. Let's watch from this person, Kenneth Miller. The reason why I would like you to watch these videos, because both the Tiktaalik and the chromosomes number 2 had almost the same error. Let's watch.
So the fossil record, the more we fill it in, the more complete it becomes and the more powerful it becomes as evidence for evolution. The second thing that you saw at the trial was that when data was introduced at the trial, which I and another witness introduced from whole genome sequencing, the intelligent design advocates just literally had nothing to say. We weren't asked questions in cross-examination. The other side never brought it up. They never argued against it. They just left it. Here's an example. Many of you may know that a few months ago the genetic code of the chimpanzee was published. Therefore, we can compare our genome to these primate relatives. What do we find? I want to show you one striking finding that dates to about a year ago. You all know that evolution argues that we share a common ancestor with the great apes, the chimpanzee, the gorilla, and the orangutan. Well, if that's true, there should be genetic similarities, and in fact there are. But there's something that's really interesting and has the potential, if it were true, to contradict evolutionary common ancestry. And that is, we have 2 fewer chromosomes than the other great apes. We have 46, they all have 48. That's very interesting. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, first of all, the 46 chromosomes that we have, you got 23 from mom and 23 from dad. So it's actually 23 pairs. These guys have 24 from each parent, so they have 24 pairs. So everybody in this room is missing a pair of chromosomes. Now, where did it go? Could it have gotten lost in our lineage? If it got lost, if a whole primate chromosome was lost, that would be lethal. So there's only 2 possibilities.
Watch.
And that is, if these guys really share a common ancestor, that ancestor either had 48 chromosomes or 46. Now, if it had 48, 24 pairs, which is probably true, because 3 out of 4 have 48 chromosomes, what must have happened is that 1 pair of chromosomes must have gotten fused. So we should be able to look at our genome and discover that 1 of our chromosomes resulted from the fusion of 2 primate chromosomes. So we should be able to look around our genome. And you know what? If we don't find it, evolution is wrong. We don't share a common ancestor. So how would we find it? Well, biologists in the room will know that chromosomes have nifty little markers. They have markers called centromeres, which are DNA sequences that are used to separate them during mitosis, and they have cool little DNA sequences on the end called telomeres. What would happen if a pair of chromosomes got fused? Well, what would happen is the fusion would put telomeres where they don't belong, in the center of the chromosome, and the resulting fused chromosome should actually have 2 centromeres. One of them might become inactivated, but nonetheless it should still be there. So we can scan our genome, and you know what? If we don't find that chromosome, evolution's in trouble. Well, guess what? It's chromosome number 2. Our chromosome number 2 was formed by the fusion of 2 primate chromosomes. This is the paper from Nature a little more than a year ago. And I put up a little of the paper. I'm sorry it's technical, but look at what it says. Chromosome 2 is unique to our lineage. It emerged as a result of the head-to-head fusion of 2 chromosomes that remain separate in other primates. Those of you who have not kept up with how much we know about the genome should pay attention to this, because you'll be amazed at how precisely we can look at things. The precise fusion site has been located at base number 114,455,823 to 114,455,838. In other words, within 15 bases. And you'll notice multiple subtelomeric duplications, the telomeres that don't belong, and lo and behold, the centromere that is inactivated corresponds to chimp chromosome 13. It's there, it's testable, it confirms the prediction of evolution. How would intelligent design explain this? Only one way. by shrugging and saying, that's the way the designer made it. No reason, no rhyme.
Okay, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for your patient time. And if you did not read my book, if you don't know about my new discoveries, you will surely believe to Bill Nye, to Nella Shubin, to Kenneth Miller, and to many, many, many scientists today who are supporting the theory of evolution. But to tell you the truth, they are all wrong. They are all wrong, and I will show you why they are wrong. Okay, let us continue. Okay. So if you're going to read, if you're going to listen to their videos, listen carefully. They have a common claim. What was the common claim that they are saying? The predictive power of the theory of evolution. Prediction. A good theory and the only right theory has always a good prediction, And Bill Nye, Nella Shubin, and Kenneth Miller, and many scientists, or the three persons that I've shown you in my videos, they are trying to tell us that because the theory of evolution has a predictive power, therefore the theory of evolution is right, and the explanation of the number 2 and the Tiktaalik from them were correct and are correct. According to them, the prediction of the theory of evolution is powerful and correct. Really? Let's continue. Okay. That theory is real science, according to this scientist. To Nella Shubin, to Bill Nye, Nella Shubin, and Kenneth Miller, and to all scientists who support the theory of evolution. Okay, for our discussion today, let us set aside the theory of evolution. Let us first talk about the gravity. Gravitational theory, I just write it GT. Okay. If the gravity is correct, then what? We can predict. Let's make a predictive power of the gravity. Let's make an experiment. If the gravity is true, and it's real, and it's part of reality, and it's part of science, if I drop this marker, it will surely fall down, right? And it is always the same wherever you go, where you are here on Earth. It will always fall down, it will always fall down, it will always fall down, it will always fall down. So, there is a prediction that if you drop this something, it will always fall down. That's a prediction, and it's always the same. That's the reason why we believe that the gravitational theory is right. This is a very simple experiment. Thus, GT is real science, okay? Because of its predictive power. Now, let's set aside gravity, the theory. Let's set aside first the theory of evolution, the gravitational theory, and let's talk something different. How about flat Earth? Okay? This is the flat Earth. If you are going to study flat Earth, if you make a prediction, let's make a prediction for the flat Earth. If the flat Earth is true, we can build a 10-story, 910-meter length condominium. Is it possible? Yes. We can build here. In Japan, we can build that too. In America, you can build that. You can build, if the flat Earth is true, you can build a 10-story, 900-meter length condominium. Let us make more prediction. If flat Earth is true, we can fly a kite. Do you think it is possible? It is true. We can predict that it is true. It is possible. Or, if flat Earth is true, we can climb Mount Fuji in Japan. As you can see, that I'm trying to make a prediction based on reality and based on explanation. And it's called predictive power. We can predict that if flat Earth is true, we can climb Mount Fuji in Japan. This one is Mount Fuji. So if you climb the Mount Fuji, then it is true. Then you can say that the flat Earth is true because you can climb Mount Fuji. That is called predictive power. But why we don't believe that the Earth is flat? Flat Earth is flat Earth real science? So the answer for that question is no. Flat Earth is not science. Why it is not science? Let's go back again to the theory of evolution. Let us compare the theory of evolution to the flat Earth. If theory of evolution is true, we can find Tiktaalik in X, Y, Z criteria or premises. According to them, according to the building, according to Neil Shriven, that if the Tiktaalik is true, if the theory of evolution is true, and there's a gap in what they call the fossils record, you could find Tiktaalik in XYZ criteria. What are the XYZ? Place, time, condition, the surrounding of the Tiktaalik. You could find it. Okay. So, but look, let's make another analogy. If the theory of evolution is true, we can find also bones of Japanese people in XYZ criteria premises. Do you think that the Japanese people are evolving? As you can see, this one is for Tiktaalik. And many people believe that Tiktaalik is a missing link, had evolved from a lower form. But it's the same here. If theory of evolution is true, we can find bones of Japanese people in XYZ criteria or premises. Again, XYZ is place, time, condition, and surrounding. Do you understand me? Do you know what I'm trying to go? Do you know what I would like to say? So there is a predictive power. What I'm trying to say is that why the flat Earth is wrong. If the flat Earth is wrong, the flat Earth is wrong because the flat Earth doesn't see the whole picture, the big picture of the Earth. The same is true with prediction. If the theory of evolution is true, we can find bones of Japanese people in XYZ criteria premises. This one is very small, it's very limited. It's the part of the theory of evolution. It is not part of the theory of evolution. This also is here. If the theory of evolution is true, we can find Tiktaalik in XYZ criteria premises. Which means the reason why the flat Earth is wrong, because flat Earth didn't ever see the whole picture. The theory of evolution also is wrong because this is a picture, the whole picture of Earth from space, as taken by NASA. So, in word, as I have told you, that the theory of evolution, the reason why the theory of evolution is wrong, because the theory of evolution did not see the whole bigger picture of reality. The reason why the flat Earth is wrong, because the flat Earth didn't see the whole picture of the Earth, if the Earth is flat or round. So, what are the big pictures, the bigger pictures in biology, in reality, that the theory of evolution should be considering first before they made a prediction, before the theory of evolution made a prediction? First, the bigger picture about life. Is life intelligent design or not? Or the process. There are two processes that I have discovered, intelligent process and natural process. But the theory of evolution doesn't know about that. Cause and effect. The theory of evolution has no explanation for that. Intelligence. The theory of evolution has no explanation for this. These are the bigger picture that should be considered first before the theory of evolution could make a prediction. The same as like the flat earth. Life must be solved first because life talks about the living organism. Processes. The living organism is going to deal with natural process, with natural elements. So we need first to understand if they're processes or if they are using intelligent processes or natural processes. Cause and effect. Why they are here, why they have life, why they have to eat, why they have to make something. We need to understand this process. Intelligence. We need to understand if there is real intelligence in the whole universe, in reality, in biological world. So in other words, all the four bigger picture that I've discussed to you today, the theory of evolution dismisses them all. The theory of evolution, TOE, has no explanation for them. The theory dismisses that the earth is round, if you're going to make an analogy for the flat earth. And the theory claims that the earth is flat. And they are very limited. Do you know why the theory of the earth is the flat earth is wrong? Because people who are who are living here on earth, somewhere here on earth, they are moving, they are only occupying a very small space on earth. And they are very limited in their sight. But if they're going to go out of space, they could see a whole picture. My discovery also, if you are going to go out of the reality and you are going to see the whole reality, you are going to see the whole earth. The theory of evolution is somewhere here in the round earth. And the theory of evolution is saying something like this: the earth is flat, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. So, as I have told you, that the theory of evolution, when they made a prediction about Tiktaalik, their prediction will always be wrong because they are making a prediction just only for a limited part in reality. It's like a flat earth. Like a flat earth. So the theory of evolution has no predictive power because it never talks about reality. Like the flat earth idea. The theory of evolution has no realistic prediction, like the flat earth idea. The theory of evolution has no scientific prediction, like the flat earth idea. And the theory of evolution has no part in reality and in biology because the theory of evolution had this regardless, didn't have explanation for the origin of life, why life might exist here on earth. Didn't have any explanation for the processes because the living organism have to deal with nature. Didn't know about that. Cause and effect. Didn't know about why they had to eat, they had to live, they had to move, they had to mutate. And intelligence. The theory of evolution has no explanation for this. Thus, the theory of evolution is not science, it's not part of science, it's not even part of reality. Not part and not a part of biology. And here is my book. My book, the one that I have discovered, and I said that the new explanation is the biological interrelation. I included, or this biological interrelation, the new explanation in biology for biological living organism, it is connected or related to life. The one that I discovered, first it talked about life. That life is intelligently designed. Life is part of intelligence. The one that I discovered. The process and biological interrelation from this book, we can separate processes, intelligent process to natural process. It's very easy. Cause and effect. Because there is a cause and effect, we could also tell if the cause is intelligent agent or not, if the cause or natural process or not. We could easily subdivide it. We could easily categorize it. And the last, intelligence. The book that I have written, the one that I've discovered, discuss this life processes, cause and effect, and intelligence. This topic that the theory of evolution has no connection. So in other words, the reason I put this circle here, prediction, to make it short, Tiktaalik is part of the biological interrelation. Tiktaalik, this Tiktaalik and survive in X, Y, Z in the place where it was found, in the time where it was found, where it lived, in the place where this Tiktaalik lived. Tiktaalik did not evolve, but Tiktaalik did interrelate to X, Y, and Z. In other words, Tiktaalik is not part of evolution. Evolution has no part in Tiktaalik because Tiktaalik is just all the biological interrelation. Conclusion. Tiktaalik support the biological interrelation because biological interrelation discuss life, discuss processes, discuss cause and effect, discuss intelligence. And it discussed Tiktaalik, which means Tiktaalik did not evolve but did interrelate to X, Y, and Z. So the question is, can we use biological interrelation to predict this one? Simple. As I told you, I will show you. Here. You will always find bones, Japanese bones, in Japan. Because the Japanese people live here in Japan. Right? Yes, you will believe that. Let's change this Japanese to Tiktaalik. You will always find Tiktaalik in the place, in the bones of Tiktaalik, in the place where Tiktaalik lives, in the place and the time of where it lives. So, Tiktaalik is not part of evolution because Tiktaalik had just interrelates to its surrounding. That's why you can predict, for example, if you walk, if you're going to, for example, to the jungle, you can predict that in the jungle, you find, for example, in the Philippines, in the jungle, you will find in the jungle because the jungle lives in the snake live in the jungle. Or you can find fish in the sea because the fish live in the sea. Or you can find a bird flying in a tree. So these are just interrelating to their surrounding, and they don't evolve. They don't evolve. They just interrelated. They just interrelated to their place, to their time, to their condition, to their surrounding, and we could find them. Actually, but they just named it Tiktaalik, assuming that it's a part of evolution. So, to make it short, Tiktaalik is not part of evolution. Tiktaalik had just interrelated to its surrounding. Tiktaalik actually, the theory of evolution is wrong in its prediction for Tiktaalik because the theory of evolution had forgotten to explain life process, cause and effect, and intelligence. Just like the flat earth. The reason why we know that the flat earth is wrong because the flat earth didn't see the whole picture of the universe, of the earth. If you have the picture of the whole earth, you will never believe in flat earth. The same also in the theory of evolution. If you have the whole picture of of reality, you will never believe in evolution. You will always believe in science, the one that I've discovered. And the replacement for this is what I called, wait, replacement for this is what I called where's that? Biological interrelation. Thank you, and I hope you understand me, my explanation. So it's quite long, but just to make it long, I want to make it shorter. But forgive me, it took too long to explain this Tiktaalik. Remember, Tiktaalik did not support the theory of evolution. Thus, has no part, is not connected to the theory of evolution. It missed the link. The theory of evolution has no link with Tiktaalik. Thank you for watching these videos, and see you again for another video that I'm going to make and that I have made. And read my book. This book, the New Intelligent Design, turning the scientific upside down, and Biology of Intelligent Design, because I explained that some good science in my book. Thank you, and see you again.